You're listening to the Incomparables Total Party Kill podcast, in which a group of friends play Dungeons & Dragons on the internet for your amusement. This is episode number 355, Dog and Pony Show Season 5, Episode 14, recorded August 2021, posted July 2022. Contraband Vampires.
Welcome back to Total Party Kill. It's me, Tony Sindelar, he, him, is, a Dungeon Master. Today, we are doing more Dog and Pony Show. That's right. Barovia, Curse of Strahd, all your favorite jerks and lovable scamps are assembled in one place to fight vampires and hopefully not be murdered about them. About them? By them? Erica edits these all precisely to make me sound like a person.
Over them, under them,
yeah,
around them.
First off, you heard his voice just then. It's the one. It's the, I don't know if he's only, but the only one I know, the Micah Sargent. Hi, Micah.
Hello, ahoy, and howdy. I am Micah Sargent, as Tony Sindelar already pointed out. I play Elevor Landman, the half-elf druid, and Samus, the saber-toothed tiger. My and Elevor's pronouns are he, him, and Samus's are she, her.
Thank you, Micah. Next up, my friend from across the river, it's Jane Ritt. Hi, Jane.
Hello, Tony. I am playing Lena Dulina, the human rogue. Both of our pronouns are she, her.
Thank you, Jane. Joining us and running our stream and doing all the technology stuff, it's Dan Morin.
Hello, I am playing Crucible, aka Castor Onotar's Crucible, a Warforged cleric of the god Onotar. My pronouns are he, him, Crucibles are they, them.
Next up, Aline Sims.
I haven't played D&D in 6 weeks, and I have no idea what I'm doing. I play Imra Soliana, the Wood Elf Ranger. Her trusty favorite pupper, Androdite, and we all use she, her pronouns.
And last but not least, unless I forgot someone, which I'm trying really hard not to do, is Erica Ensign.
Hello. I have been editing TPK somewhat regularly over the last 6 weeks, so I remember how to play Dungeons and Dragons.
We will follow your lead.
Yeah. That leads straight to success for us, I'm just saying. But today I am playing Brildish, the Dwarven Paladin. Her pronouns, like mine, are she, her, and Brildish also has a celestial pony named Pony Cindelarnt. His pronouns are he, him.
So as Aline mentioned, it has been 6 weeks in our live time since we have played. We have forgotten almost everything. No doubt none of that will be reflected in how today's session goes, and we are really great at everything. Let me remind you of the action so far, both players and listeners, in case you've forgotten. You are currently in a coffin maker's shop on the second floor fighting vampires. How did you get here? Well, after collecting...
Poor life decisions.
Thank you. You are passing through the town of Vallaki to steal a wedding dress. Just going to remind you of that thing that you decided to do. A thing not necessarily required by the adventure, but a thing you have decided you're going to do. You are on your way to Castle Ravenloft to confront one Strahd von Zarovich himself, and your flesh golem needed a wedding dress. So you just stopped over in Vallaki, and things are not well there. There's been some kind of outbreak, and houses are boarded up, and houses have been burned down, and you have tracked some monsters that are attacking people in the night to the coffin maker's shop. There was a great episode where you were real scared about the room full of coffins on the first floor, but you know where they keep vampires? On the second floor in nondescript crates when there's a room full of coffins down below.
Oh, wait. Well, Tony, are these contraband vampires?
I think you made a lot of joke about hipster vampires. I don't totally remember if any of them were worth remembering. So
Clearly they were not.
Clearly
I do not remember
they
them.
were not.
I guess not.
We are mid-combat. I almost remember how Dungeon and Dragon works. I think, thank you for laughing at my non-joke, Micah. I believe we have initiative here.
It'll be worth remembering.
And I believe that we will start with Lena Delina. I see after Lena a character named Mila, who I believe is Micah's celestial roommate, who moves on a different initiative. Then Team Vampire. There are many vampires here in the attic with you. This is bad. Vampires, even lesser vampire spawns such as these, are a formidable threat. You have destroyed one and severely injured another. You have bashed a variety of holes in the walls, or I guess they were mainly places where there were boarded up windows. So there are a lot of shafts of light as the setting sun illuminates this strange attic, and that is helping you because I believe it is doing both some radiant damage to the vampires, and specifically they do not regenerate if they start their turn in direct sunlight, which I guess we're counting this as it just says sunlight because I'm like, it's not that direct. So Team Vampire followed by Imra, Elevor, Worldish, Samus, Crucible at the end. Does that sound right, people?
It does
Sure.
indeed.
Mhm.
I would.
All right.
Tony, can you tell us which of the vampires, since some of the names are covered up,
Yep.
which one is Bianca? Because I just want to point out that Bianca is both baned and prone.
Yes, good reminder. I would not have remembered that. Bianca is in the center of the
Okay.
fight. I put a bunch of symbols on this character 6 weeks ago so that I would not know what they mean, except I guess they're prone and baned and possibly took radiant damage recently. Bianca is not doing
Almost
well.
certainly.
Apparently, I named all. Oh, I remember this. I did this.
In alphabetical order.
Alphabetical.
I named
Yeah.
all the vampires in alphabetical order. Weird old timey
Which
names.
I totally called before you
Yes.
said it.
Yep. So you have murdered Aloysius. Bianca is badly hurt. Karn not yet touched. Delatrix. Almost in some of these names I may have made up.
It's a good name though. I like that.
Erasmus, Helena. Yeah. So there's several vampire spawn. Any questions? Comments?
Oh, so many. Oh, so many.
This is good. I don't
Yeah.
remember how this works, but this seems right.
It's great.
Okay. Jane, how are you?
I have a question. Does a 12 hit their AC?
15, I think we've established.
What? How do you know that, Aline? Aline, did you watch the
She
episode?
listened
So-
to the episode.
Which
Yeah.
one are you attacking?
So
They're all the
it
same.
would be Bianca.
And did you roll with advantage? Because
Oh.
I
Ooh.
did.
Oh,
I did roll with advantage, and these dice are dusty.
Oh no.
So, okay, then we're going to with my so that was my magnificent sun sword glowing with the energy of that which is baleful to these vampiric beasts. With
I
just
don't
like-
remember what the Sun Sword's voice sounds like. It's been too long.
Let's face it, Tony, it probably sounded a lot like you.
Yeah, but I don't remember what
I'm
the
sword in
demeaning.
here.
I'd say that was
I like blood. Please stop saying.
I have a full range of voices from goblin to cowboy
Sorry.
to goblin cowboy.
That one sounded very much like a very creepy teddy bear with like
Ooh.
blood dripping out of its mouth.
Yeah,
It's a very
that's-
specific image.
That's my
Yeah, it
backup
was.
character.
It was a very
so-
specific voice.
Oh my god, don't let Lena die.
Okay, so then with her like magnificent sun sword, nothing takes out her normal sword.
We just sword. Yep.
Yeah.
Short sword.
Rolls very badly. Lena is just like doing like light stick rave dancing.
Woo.
Yeah.
There's an episode of Homestar Runner that is strong.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
The system is down.
Is down.
Yes.
The system,
The system is down.
It is
That's
down.
my turn, friends. An
Micah, you have
auspicious start.
an auspicious start to being murdered by vampires. I hope you don't actually get murdered by vampires this
Let's
episode.
see.
Do you remember how I don't remember what kind of creatures these are that you have summoned.
Mila and Pavia are both Alcaids. And I
Not helping
do,
me.
I do remember how they work. They both have multi-attack, and the one move they do is called Radiant Touch. So let's start with Pavia, who is on the left there, next to a vampire dealie whose name is hidden. Karn, I almost said Carl. Let's attack Carl.
I think we called him Carl last time.
Micah, it's possible that before this person was a vampire, that was their like human name, and then they became a vampire, and they're like, you gotta like, yeah.
Now I am Karn.
And it's like we already
Carl,
have
you just changed one letter.
and
Come
they were
on,
like
Carl.
and like we already have a guy named Carnage. That's gonna be confusing. Like, and he's like,
Pavia-
Carney.
Do Pavia and
No,
Mila get
that's-
advantage or no?
On Bianca, yes.
but not at the
I would
Just
think
on
so.
Bianca. Got it.
just
If
on
it's-
Bianca.
If it's well, depending on what kind of attack it is. If it's a ranged attack, it would be disadvantage.
Are we sure their AC is 15?
You are very sure.
All right. Well, we'll just Pavia didn't hit anybody. Now we'll give Mila a swing and a hit. I'm gonna go ahead and roll the second one. How's that? Just to see if we hit with the second. Okay. Oh, that's a 20.
You rolled a critical. That's even better.
All right.
Yeehaw.
So let's see. I'll roll damage for the first one. That is
Remember
1d10 plus 4.
Will it be 2d10? Oh, you've hit twice. I get it. So you're just
Yeah, they have multi-attack.
You're
So
whale, and
first
this is
one.
Oh, you go. I'll stop.
Oh yeah, Mila is hitting the person in the top right corner, the vamp in the top right corner.
Bellatrix.
Bellatrix. So does 10 damage, and then this is 10 radiant damage, just to be clear,
Yep.
and then does 28 radiant damage.
Yes.
So I'm gonna add those numbers together
38.
into 38. That is a lot of 8. 38.
38. Yeah.
And I will put a little symbol on Bellatrix indicating that she has recently taken radiant damage, which is bad if you're a vampire.
Have you recently taken radiant damage?
If you're undead, you're in trubs. Yeah. Was that Mila and Pavia, or just
Yes,
one?
that was Mila
Okay.
and Pavia's turn, and they are
Okay.
both very happy.
All right. Did Karn get hit? Or
Karn did not get hit.
all right, got it. Excellent.
Miss on Karn. Miss on Carl.
All right. He's already got he's got a huge tattoo, but it's like the last letter is a little indistinct. Also, why does he have his own name tattooed on him? That's
he's very forgetful.
He was someone you didn't want to hang out with when he was alive.
You know,
Less so now.
my rule is to never have anybody else's name tattooed on me ever.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, that leaves me with one name that I can tattoo on me.
If you're gonna get a name,
True.
I mean,
That's true.
really.
Mm-hmm.
wait, does that you mean even animal names?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me.
I mean, the animal
like,
could get
you do you,
canceled.
but yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't want my dog to get milkshake ducked.
Yeah, literally an animal that got canceled. All right, so it is the vampire's turn. Things at the start of vampire turn go poorly because you have opened up a lot of holes in the ceiling and walls here. I have drawn strange rectangles all over the map indicating shafts of light. This is just like the ending of From Dusk Till Dawn, except that the physics of the light don't really make any sense here. It is also the sun is setting, so you may not have many rounds of light to count on. But every vampire that starts its turn in a shaft of light is going to take 20 damage.
Yes,
That
indeed.
is a badass mother.
And and not regenerate, which they would normally regenerate. So Bellatrix is bloodied and not regenerating, which is not the preferred way to be.
Do the roommates also have auras that make a difference for vampires? I see that they have auras.
No.
I don't.
No, that was
Okay.
just because Tony's nice and wanted to let me show them glowing, but no,
Gotcha, okay,
unfortunately, no true auras.
Just for effect.
I mean, it's still pretty cool.
So the vampires are gonna go next. They were briefly I forget if it was friended or charmed, and I think they are real surly about that now that spell has worn off. So I'm looking here, and I'm gonna work kind of from top to bottom,
I thought we were
left
friends,
to
man.
right, right to left. Bellatrix will go first. Bellatrix, Imra, you are right there. Oh, Imra, I've forgotten that we had great new art for all of our character pogs, and they look great. It's going to be real sad when all of you are murdered. How does a vampire work? A vampire has multi-attack. It is going to do a claw attack and a bite attack on you. Let us start with a claw attack versus Imra. Rolling a d20, not a d12. I am an experienced dungeon master.
You could totally do a D12.
Darn. Yeah.
I have rolled a 17 claw attack. versus
Yeah,
to
that
hit,
hits.
and a slightly less impressive 14 bite attack.
That does not hit.
Let's see. The vampire can choose to do slashing damage or grab you. I think this vampire is going to go for the slashing damage. And in fact, I could only bite you if I had already grabbed you. So you will take 8 slashing damage.
Okay.
All right. Over here, Bianca. Bianca will stand up. I don't know if anything bad happens when Bianca does that.
She uses half her move.
Uses half her move. Bianca looks around. Lena, Crucible, Broldus, and Samus, Sabertooth Tiger, are kind of crowded over Bianca. I think she is going to lunge at Lena, who is wielding a sun sword.
What a fool.
Oh, wait, hang on. Lena is...
intervene with a shield?
Lena's not within 5 feet of
What are you
me,
thinking,
is
Bianca?
she?
I am not. No.
Let's see. When wielding a shield and a creature you can see attacks a target other than you within 5 feet. So no, the creature is, but Lena isn't. So there's nothing I can do about it. Sorry, Lena.
All right.
That's okay.
I think this will just be 2 claw attacks. Ooh, that is not good for you. It's great for me. Bianca has rolled a 24 and a 15 to hit 2 attacks.
Okay, the 24 hits, 15 does not.
All right, 8 slashing damage. Felina and Erasmus.
Although, is she baned? Does she have a...
She is baned. That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Am I rolling a d4 and subtracting?
Yep.
It can't help me for the other one. But...
I rolled maximum bane.
But that's still a 20.
Please don't.
Becomes a 16.
No, it was a 24,
It was 24.
so
Oh,
it
okay.
becomes a 20. So it still hits.
Yeah.
But
we don't
Forming and everything.
we don't need to make pain jokes anymore. We're past that, people. As a civilization,
society,
I've decreed
yep.
it. Yep, just here. We're done.
Here, on this, the day of our Strahd.
Felina and Erasmus are next. They are currently in a beam
do I
of
take
sunlight.
damage?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
No.
8.
No.
Oh. Wait, what happened?
This is like that student who's like, "What's the homework for tomorrow?"
Yeah.
Which was me in school, but still.
Listen.
Let me rewind, make sure I got that right. You had Bane. I
Yes.
attacked you twice.
Hit
I
once.
hit you once, even with
Yes.
the Bane effect.
Even with the bane.
That does 8 slashing damage.
Okay.
All right.
Owie.
Owie. Felina and Erasmus
Lena
emerge.
says.
I was going to say
That's
they
a
emerge from the
Barovian
shadows, but they emerge from a beam of sunlight that they don't like. So they emerge from a backlit beam of sunlight, hissing. Some of their faces are slightly melted, and they lunge through the shadowy, spooky attic. I am going to say that they are going to go for Crucible and Broldish. Crucible. 18 claw attack? Nope. How about a 12 claw attack? You got one of those AC that you got like one of the
second edition.
You got one of those ACs that's like good for a part, but not all the way down.
Right. Not great.
You don't have one of
Shins,
those
very vulnerable.
floor length shields. Yeah. All right. Well, that was Crucible. That was great. I liked when my vampires were going to murder all of you. Breldish. 11 or this is less depressing. 21.
21 does hit.
All right, 8 slashing damage.
Okay.
Karn is trapped over here in the corner by Pavia, so Karn is just going to attack Pavia. Karn rolls a 15 to hit Pavia. Micah?
Oh, I'm sorry. Pavia. That's me.
Yeah.
15 to hit Pavia. That is... Wait, does the hitter get it or the...
Tie goes to the attacker.
Okay. Then that's a hit.
Okay. That's a hit. Here is what Karn is going to do. Karn is feeling feisty. Karn has not taken any damage yet. Karn is also a person who has made some choices, both in their first life and their second vampire life. Here's another choice. Instead of doing damage, Karn will grab Pavia. Pavia is grappled. And Karn is just going to try and sink his whole fangs into Pavia's neck. I have rolled I'm feeling good about this, a 25 to hit.
Now, here's the thing.
I do. I see some repercussions for this. Again, Karn is a creature that has made choices.
Yeah, because this is a being, by D&D's rules, a being touched with the golden light of the sun. It says divines. Oh, we've already done that. Like, these are literally the sunbeam creatures.
Yeah.
Of all of them. But anyway, so 15 to hit, and then what happened with the bite?
All right, so Karn grabs Pavia and is kind of wrestling with Pavia and gets his fangs out and plunges them into Pavia's neck. I suspect Karn gets basically a real intense sunburn as radiant light just billows out of the now puncture wounds in Pavia's neck. Pavia is going to take... there's 6 piercing damage from this attack, and then 7 necrotic damage, so it's 13 damage total.
All right.
And there's some repercussions in terms of Pavia can never get those hit points back that I suspect are moot at this point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pavia says, ouch, and then poofs into a cloud of sort of like, it's like pollen and sunlight.
I'm gonna give Karn 15 damage of radiant face damage.
The radiant face damage.
Because Karn just tried to feed on a being of pure sunlight. Mike, am I moving Pavia off the map?
That would be totally
All
cool
right.
by me.
All right. Pavia is... All right. Karn seems confused about this situation. I will point out, if a vampire reduces a target to 0 hit points with their bite attack, you are dead. You're not making death saving throws. You are dead. So,
does that
I
happen
wonder, though,
if
as
it's a creature of light?
And plus, I think that it's... I don't remember what spell I use now.
You might,
it's not like
check
Pavia-
on the
Pavia wouldn't be
repercussions.
making.
I'll try
Pavia wouldn't be
calling
making
Pavia
saves
later
anyway.
and see if Pavia answers.
It's convenient.
I'm
You
just
still owe
saying-
Pavia your share of the rent.
Yeah, you should probably call, like, what is the etiquette? But, like, probably either today or tomorrow. I would not wait 3 days on this. I feel like, all right, that was my very long team vampire turn. Imra's next, then Elevor, then Broldish, then Samus, then Crucible, then Lena. Do it.
I feel like
Imra.
we need to cut down some of these vampires so that
I think
doesn't
that,
last so long.
look, I'm just a humble sports commentator, but I think if you killed some of these bad guys, that would be good for you.
Yeah.
Score
Okay.
more points.
So I am using my trusty battle axe +1.
Nice.
My trusty battle axe +1. And I attack Bellatrix in front of me twice. Hit once. Boo.
Still good.
4. Oh, and I moved my hunter's mark. I did it before it
Yay.
finished rolling. So 4. That's 10 damage plus my D6 for my hunter's mark. I don't know how D&D Beyond works with rolling dice, so I'm just going to do that again. My D6 was a 6, so that is 16 total points of magic damage.
All right, this was to Bellatrix. Bellatrix has taken 16 damage. Bellatrix is not looking well up in the top corner of the attic there. All set, Imra? Or you have more?
I think that's all I can do. Yep.
All right. Imra, you are up in the fray. Elevor, you are hanging back at the very entrance to the attic. You're a good, 20, 25, 30 feet away from the fray. The fray being this, like, huge huddle of vampires and heroes in the middle of the room. Look at you all. You're using the whole map. You're not just fighting in the doorway. I'm real proud of you.
So
Inspiration to everybody?
Nope.
So all the windows now open entirely or no?
Except for the one
technically,
behind
there is a
you.
window behind you.
I guess there's another one.
There's
right
another.
there.
There's 2 windows behind you. The windows most in the vicinity of the vampires have been, have been at least partially. I imagine had some boards torn off them. I guess a window could be more open.
Okay, then I think let me do the little ping thingy. This window here,
Yep.
Elevor will cast Create Bonfire on it to completely blast it open.
All right.
So it's not just angled one way, hopefully. Yeah.
And that just happens, right?
Last time you had me roll, but then you said I doubt that there's dexterity saving throw for it.
Yeah, for houses.
So 10 fire damage.
All right.
Also, now that it's already partially open, there's more surface area for the bonfire to burn. So physics, man, it's just physics.
Mm-hmm.
Physics.
So the window was all boarded up because what you don't want is a skylight in your vampire den. Micah, why don't you roll a d6 twice, and there's going to be some more beams of light coming in to this attic.
Oh, whoops! I did too.
A 6 and a 4. Again. That's fine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly. Thank you. Yeah. So I rolled a 6 and I rolled a 4.
You rolled a 6 and you rolled a 4. So I'm going to say that's like a 6. And
oh, man, this is happening.
So much sunlight.
Yeah. At a certain point, it's going to be easy to just remove all the rectangles because there will be more things there will be more things covered by rectangles than not covered by rectangles. So more beams of light streak through the room. It is getting, if you are a vampire, your places that you can move through this room and not be getting a face full of setting sun.
Should we just leave? Because they would have to walk through a lot of sun to
really
follow us.
Yeah.
Solves itself.
They might. I mean, they might.
They could just wait.
They might.
Sunset.
I mean, the sun is setting. I think it would probably occur to you that they might retreat into the shadows, and then emerge at sunset, which is soon.
I guess vampires like to retreat into the shadows.
Yeah, I mean, they prey on humans. You are they're not. They think they're cool, but they're not. Elivor, was that your whole turn?
That's all for Ellie.
Breldish, you are face to face with several vampires, notably Bianca and Erasmus. Bianca is looking unwell.
All right. I'm going to smash at Bianca with my sacred axe. And that is, let's see, 11 plus 7 is enough to hit. And I am going to use, let's see, what is it called? Oh, come on. It's in here. Divine Smite. That's what it is. I knew it was Divine something. Okay, so I hit with a melee weapon attack. I can expend 1 spell slot to deal 2d8 extra radiant damage to the target, plus 1d8 for extra spell level higher than first. And I'm going to do this at second level. I think. Actually, if I have 1 first level spell slot left, I do. I just do it at first level. And it's an extra 1d8 against undead or fiends. So first I will roll my regular damage, so you can do that separately because this is non-magical. And that will... yeah. Oh,
committed to the thing.
That's crappy. I rolled a 1 on the die, so that's a 5 slashing damage, which I know gets halved.
2 slashing damage.
Yep. But I get 1d8 and another d8 because it's undead, plus another okay, so 7, 12, 17 radiant damage.
Breldish, you have slain that
Yay!
vampire. Would you like
Nice.
to describe what that looks like for us?
Well, Breldish raises her axe over her head and it smashes down, kind of into the shoulder area of this accursed vampire. And at first it looks like the axe is not really doing all that much, and then suddenly the axe erupts into radiant flame and just kind of burns both halves of the vampire from side to side, inside out, and it just crumbles to the ground.
Samus, you are next. Samus, there is Erasmus, the relatively uninjured vampire. That's his his title is in your vicinity.
Yeah. So we're just gonna go for a nice claw. That didn't do anything. So, well, it did. It was an 8, but it wasn't strong enough to hit. So, yeah. Moving on.
Crucible, Felena, the somewhat injured vampire, is in your vicinity.
You moved on so fast, I forgot my second attack.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
Go back to Breldish.
Back to attack.
Yeah, I will attack whoever that is. I can't see their name right in front
Erasmus.
of Samus. Yes. And just with my regular axe, this time I'm not burning one of those spell slots. So that is a 15 plus a bunch. And the damage will be considerably less. Oh, well, at least I rolled a little better than a 1 that time. So that is a 4 plus 4 is 8. 8 damage, which comes back down to 4.
4. All right, got it. Thank you. Sorry about that, Erica.
No problem.
I think now we are on to Crucible, followed by Lena.
Hello.
Just gonna scoot
All
up
right.
too.
So I've got some options, and strategically, if people have any thoughts. I made myself a note last time to make a window, which I could do. I could create basically a 5-foot square window in the wall.
Ooh.
But I'm unclear as to how much the windows are doing, as opposed to, is that just hurting them, or is it
Keeping them-
hurting them?
They take 20 damage at the
Yeah, they
beginning
took
of their
20
turn
damage.
if they're in the sun.
The
Which is
other and
significant.
ideal thing, but I can't do both of these things on the same turn, would be to use Turn Undead to basically push them all into the sunlight.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm
two
not
of-
sure
Yeah,
what
two
the
of
best
them
option
are-
for that is.
2 of them are basically like in a place where they wouldn't go into the sunlight if they ran away from you.
Right, I could move, though.
Oh, you can do that. That's
and then
exciting. Movement.
Yeah. But what I could do right now is basically step over to this wall, and then, Tony, if I am using a spell to basically create a 5-foot square, let's see, no more than 5 foot in any dimension. You touch a stone object, a medium size or smaller, or a section of stone, no more than 5 feet in any dimension, and form into any shape that suits your purpose.
Your ideal shape is a window.
You could also shape a stone door or a frame or its frame to seal the door shut. Yeah, so I can basically make a hole, make a small passage through a wall, it says.
All right, I'm going to say that this attic is now partially is dimly lit by the setting sun.
Okay, so
I'm going to get rid of all my rectangles. So
I've created a 5-foot square window in the wall that is bathing the room in a gentle glow of sunlight.
Yes, the kind of orangey pink light coming in. But as you do that, Crucible, you notice that the sun is more than halfway below the horizon. Technically, there's not really ever a sun that you see in Barovia because it's real dark and gloomy. But
We can
that
tell.
that just robs you of all the imagery that I need.
The diffuse light.
The diffuse
from
light is
a distant,
is more
gloomy
diffused.
sun.
Yeah.
I believe they call this the golden hour.
I'm just saying, like a vampire setting where we don't get to describe the sun setting as an action, that's it's too much. We get it. It's depressing. But still, the sun's got to be able to set some. The sun is only visible as it sets. It's not visible in the morning.
It's just a thin line.
Yeah,
beneath
just
our-
as
yeah.
it sets, as it's robbing you of all hope. That is when it's available. Not available in the morning. There's no rising sun. It just gets a little bit grayer in the morning. All right, Crucible. This is possibly a big deal if you are a vampire. Possibly. Lena, you're next, followed by Mila, as played by Micah.
Which is the vampire that's right in front of me?
There is a somewhat injured Falena in front of you.
Okay, I want to stab Valena. Let's see.
I want to stab Valena.
And I do!
Yay!
I do stab her.
Sun, sword,
Wonderful.
sun, sword.
Sun, sword. Okay. So, that's going to be... So, to start with, it's 12 radiant damage plus an additional 19 radiant damage.
Oh,
Woo-wee.
Mm-hmm.
Falena looks extremely unwell.
Yeah, love it.
All right. Do you have a second
then-
attack with your
Yeah,
mundane
I'll do
sword?
it with my mundane short sword. That is a 17, which I believe hit.
Yep.
And that'll be 7 just normal weapon slashing damage.
So non-magical or magical still?
Not magical.
Not magical. Got it. All right. Well, Falena is bloodied.
Yeah.
Yay.
She just kind of uses the second one not so much to do damage, but just to like push her away
Yeah.
a little bit.
Um,
Okay. That is my turn.
Micah, Mila is next. Mila is in the kind of top corner of the attic next to the severely injured Bellatrix.
Yes, and we... Actually, is anybody in any, like, super amount of pain?
Mm-mm.
No.
Anybody?
I don't
Anybody?
think that
You?
they can do 43 damage in one attack.
Cool.
Fingers crossed.
So if
But,
they don't all attack you at once.
yeah.
All right.
Tony's hearing this like, numbers.
How can I make this work?
Then, in that case, we will just do a normal round of attacks. That doesn't hit. That does hit, and I got a 20, so we got double damage again
Wow. I guess having
on
a...
Bellatrix.
All right.
Or
Bellatrix.
Yeah, that one. And let's do... 6 plus... Oh, wait, is it just doubled? I forgot. Yeah,
you rolled a die twice. So if it was a D10, you rolled 2d10.
Then that's what I will do. Sorry, I didn't...
It's all good.
Wait, does this work as well or no?
I don't know. I would say so. You rolled a 2 and you rolled an 8, and then you had the 4. So
gotcha.
14.
Gotcha.
I think,
14.
math.
14 damage.
Total. All right,
Yeah.
Mila has
Radiant.
defeated Bellatrix with I forget. I think your attack is like a light touch. What does that look like, Mila?
I think for Mila, it's just going to be, oh, this is so tacky, as she reaches out and like grabs the shirt or whatever top this person is wearing. And then as she does so, you just see the sun spread over the surface of the vampire and then cracks form. And then it just...
Yeah, Bellatrix was wearing like a really billowy kind of piratey shirt. A lot of ruffles. And now, was a lot of ruffles. Now it's insulated.
Imra's
Wow.
just hoping that Mila never calls her tacky, just like quietly, like
Just recedes into the
goals.
shadows.
Trust me,
goals.
Elevor is like, for as long as he lived with Mila, it was like, oh man, I never want to be called tacky. I never
Yeah,
wanna be called
no,
tacky.
like that was scornful.
There used to be another roommate.
Oh, the tacky roommate, you mean?
Nope.
Well, you have slain 3 out of 6 vampires. The tide of battle has been turned. It seems like you will be successful here. Though the sun is setting. Is Mila all set?
Yes, Mila is all set.
All right, the vampires are going to go next. They each take 20 damage as they start their turn in enough light. But this damage is the last damage they take from the sun as the sun dips below the horizon. Meaning that they will not take light damage from, the
It's
sky.
a fast-setting sun.
And they'll regenerate. It is a dramatically fast
Less than 6
sun.
seconds, it went down. It was
Well-
halfway down, and then 6 seconds, bam, all the way down.
Spooky.
Dan, I forgot. Should I have said it was 6 seconds from setting last turn? Is that what you needed to hear?
It's half.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to get out like the sextant and everything, but
I can. That's probably you'd want a protractor, please. All right. So vampires are next. They may not be long for this world. They will make the most of it as they can, and to do that, they are going to converge on Broldish.
I thought you were going to say they were going to turn into one super vampire. Converge on one another.
To your knowledge,
Yeah,
that is
Vamptron.
not an ability. You did.
Vamptron, yeah.
Remember your friend who gave you Esmeralda Davenir gave you a lot of information about vampires.
She didn't mention that.
Before you may have had the belief that vampires could merge into
We
a
probably did.
Voltron vampire, Vamptron.
Please,
But now,
Devamp Stater, please.
but now you're gonna go Decepticon with it, Dan. There's plenty of Autobot combined things.
No one cares.
That's true. They were not as good as Devastator. Oh man, I remember when I had one part of Devastator, and I was like, someday I'll make it big. That day has not come yet. But it's good to have things to work for. All right. Anyway, vampires are all going to converge on Broldish. The hope is that one of them will be able to grab you, and the other ones will be able to feed upon you. So I'm going to do claw attacks until I successfully grab you, which may or may not happen. This is up to 6 attacks. Claw attack the first. 9. Claw attack the second.
Keep going.
What? 8.
Yes.
I like this trajectory.
There is not a lot of room to go from here. Claw attack the third.
7.
15.
Nope.
Claw attack the fourth. 23.
Yes.
All right. Instead of dealing damage, the vampire will grab you. So the vampires are attacking you. Karn, you manage to block several attacks, Brolders, but then Karn somehow gets his horrible, filthy claws around you, and Erasmus and Felena are going to dive in and attempt to sink their fangs into you. I had done 4 attacks, so I have 2 bite attacks left. So bite attack the first is going to be a 24. Bite attack the second is an 8.
Nope.
So you will take 6 piercing damage and 7 necrotic damage, 13 damage total if you don't care about the type.
Nope.
And
Okay.
your hit point maximum is reduced by 7
Ouch.
Ugh.
until you finish a long rest. And I'm going to say that Felena is somewhat nourished by that.
I don't like that. I don't like feeding vampires.
I wouldn't recommend it as a strategy.
Not after midnight, that's for sure.
Yeah. Dan,
Or
I'm just
after
thinking about
sunset.
that adventure. There was an adventure where a magic carpet wrapped up one of the adventurers, and all the other adventurers were just trying to beat on the carpet, which had their friend inside them, which, let me tell you, is a great way to almost kill your friend and barely kill a magic carpet. So don't do that approach.
We almost did something like that, I think.
I'm just saying that it's impressive that no one ever learns.
Technically, my character died.
Yeah.
they just got brought back.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now you have a life tap.
Yeah. Killed outright.
Yeah, that level 2. Rough stuff. For people interested in that adventure, too bad it wasn't recorded. But we will be playing that same adventure on a future Candlekeep thing.
Yeah,
because
warning.
all I do is recycle stuff. Imra, you are next, followed by Elevor, followed by Brolders, followed by Samus, followed by Crucible, followed by Lena.
Okay. So I am going to. I'm going to step around behind the vampires here. And I'm going to go for our bloodied friend. I cannot see their name. But I'm going to go for them with 2 attacks.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a 16 and a 12. Bummer. I'm moving my hunter's mark. Barely remembered to do that.
Good work.
And okay, so that is 10 magical damage plus hunter's mark letting me down with 1 additional damage. So 11 total.
All right. Well, that vampire looks not well. That's Felena. Perhaps if Felena had just had a snack moments ago, she in fact would be dead. But
Dang it.
thankfully,
Sorry,
you know,
Imra.
you can. Yeah, Imra, you see some of Broldus' blood. You recognize it. You've seen it a lot. Like splashes out of Felena's wounds. It's very fresh. The freshest blood.
Mhm.
All right, Imra, all set.
Yep.
Elevor.
Elevor can't do his bonfire attack on the windows anymore.
I mean, you could. It just
I'm
wouldn't get you much.
still concentrating to keep Mila around, so I think Elevor will just try and bonfire one of those old vampires. Let's
All
go
right.
with Corn, which is what I'm
That's
calling.
no.
Nice.
Also, I think that might actually be more gone. Well, it depends if it's spelled
That's true.
a C or
Is
a
it spelled a
K.
K or- yeah, exactly.
Sorry, I never thought of spelling the band Corn with a C, and they're just a bunch of Midwesterners wearing flannel, chucking corn.
Yeah, an 8's not going to do it, folks. So
All right, the vampire nimbly, basically, kind of clings to the rafters with its spider
no,
climb.
wait, I'm so sorry.
The vampire, not so nimbly, does something different when you change your number.
I forgot Create Bonfire is a dex save, so you, Corn, need to roll and
right.
beat 15.
Corn is canon, really good at dexterity though. Corn rolled a critical. Finally, Corn has done something. in his past human life, Corn was an expert not get set on fire, and he brings that with him here into his new life of undeath.
Well, that's all Elevor has for you folks. Call back next week at the same
All
time.
right, Broldish. There's a vampire that's just fed on you. Technically, 2 vampire. Well, 1 tried. 2 tried. Yeah. There's all kinds of vampires.
I want that blood back. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going for it. So
get a refund.
First attack, more than hits. And once again, Brildish is going. I'm going to use. This time I only have 2nd level spell slots left, but I'm going to do that so that I can do my divine smite. And let's see. So that would be. Let's do the regular damage first.
All right.
I'm really sucking on rolling damage. That's 5 divided by 2.
True.
Yep. And then let's see. Okay, so 2d8 plus 1d8 for each spell level, plus 1d8 because it's undead. Okay, so that is 6, 7, 8, 9. 21 radiant damage.
Woo!
Yep.
All right. Broldish has taken another vampire off the map. Broldish, what's it look like?
Hela be praised. It's actually kind of similar to before. Like the axe just sort of bites in. It almost looks like Brildish missed because like it's just not doing anything, and then suddenly it just erupts into holy flame. This time it's more a side swipe, so it's kind of like basically it cuts. Who's this, Felina? In half from the sideways. So her top half burns separately from her bottom half as the axe slices through.
Ugh. All right, Broldish, good. Do you have a second attack that you do? Or
I sure do. Yep.
See, I remember this time.
I'm gonna, and since this is sort of a side swipe, this is gonna swing through and try to hit Corn as well. And that's a 1.
I'm just gonna change his nameplate here. I can't respect him anymore.
But yeah, that was a 1. So totally got distracted by the fact that I cut a vampire in half.
Yep, it's hard to kill a second. It's hard to hit 2 vampires in the same turn. Samus, Erasmus is right in front of you.
Yep, and we're going to go for a nice old Clawly Wally, but we got a 12 on attack, so that's going to be a miss.
Samus doesn't level up, so though Samus was like a powerful engine of devastation early in the adventure, it's kind of like all of you have caught up to a saber-tooth tiger. So there's a lesson here about outgrowing pets? I don't know.
Are you saying we need to abandon Samus?
I'm just saying that, Samus is now level appropriate. You've aged into it, so good job.
Ding.
Crucible.
All right. Crucible will look around the room, notice there are 2 vampires left, notice the sun has gone down, and he will murmur a prayer. The rune on his forehead starts to glow, and he'll point a hand at Corn and say, rethink your life decisions.
so many decisions.
That's a 15.
Which hits.
That hits.
That is 26 radiant damage.
Oh. All right.
Does he like that?
No. he the other one, the not liking it is how he's experiencing it.
About to be creamed corn.
Love it. Love it.
Dan, your voice is different.
Thank you.
I've retired in the last 6 weeks. I've passed the mantle on to someone else.
All right.
Yeah, well, all right. Somebody else want to put some more damage in him, see if you could popcorn?
Oh my god.
I'm out of retirement!
Sorry.
I would
Erica's
love
was
to. I would love to put some more damage into Corn. Let's see if I can, though.
Remember when this
That's
guy's name was
16?
Karn so long ago?
I remember it was Carl. That's how long we've known each other.
Okay, so that is 11 radiant damage.
That seems low, though. I think there's probably more to come.
There is more.
But wait,
was there a pun in there that I just missed?
But does there need to be more?
Dan, or was that just normal talk?
No, that was just, I really want to know.
Oh, okay. See, the pause at the end was what made me think that you were telling a joke and waiting for the reaction.
Applause.
It's all about,
I feel like I'm on a podcast with Guy English.
timing.
Now that's a cornball.
13 radiant damage.
All right, Corn is not doing well, having taken 13 radiant damage from Lena.
Was
Lena,
there a sneak attack damage?
Yes, so I did 11 radiant damage followed by 13 sneak attack damage.
that is an important clarifying thing, because that is enough between those two attacks
Yay!
to kill Corn. Lena,
He's off
what's
the
it-
cob, people.
Oh, damn. Lena, what does it look like?
Holding the sword aloft, making eye contact with the remaining vampire,
Ooh.
plunging the sword directly into their comrade. Can I make an intimidation check?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Make that with advantage, because you're murdering someone
Thanks.
with a lightsaber.
Yeah. Sorry, I accidentally hit the button to roll 3 times, but the second one was a 17.
All right. Yeah. Erasmus is going to try and escape on it. Erasmus's turn.
Fun.
Yeah.
All right. Mila is
mostly
next.
I would like to give yeah, I just want to rattle him. I don't necessarily want him to succeed at getting away.
Shake him until he rattles, or
But like just with my steely gaze. But it'll
All right.
feel like he's getting shaken.
Yes.
That's
Mila, Micah.
Mila says, "Which of you tacky monsters is next?"
Erasmus
And then-
looks very nervous because there's a limited pool of monsters.
And then approaches Erasmus and strikes out. Oh, that's not.
I don't know enough
Oh,
about
strike-
fashion to make any descriptions of what Erasmus is wearing that's tacky. So, Erasmus
Yes.
looks like they shop at Target, which is what I do.
I like Target.
I think boutiques, like
Mm.
very good thrifter.
Mm.
Yeah, I think what it is the people that Mila likes are not tacky and can look good in anything that they wear,
Oh.
and she's very supportive of them. She's like, "Ooh, work it, yes, yes." But anybody that she doesn't like, it's just like,
I think, unfortunately, the there's a lot of challenges that go with being a vampire. There's probably I feel like maybe there's an attachment to wearing the clothes that you died in, which are not going to be great, just from like a blood and other things. And so, and then you wear those for a long time. You don't always sleep in the best places, so they're getting damp. Your ability to procure other clothes is really limited by frustrating store hours that are not open at night. So, it's not, I think even if you had nice clothes, they are not well maintained, but because of your vampire spawn lifestyle. So, I
Story
see.
checks out.
Did Mia rolled some attacks?
Mila struck out with reached out with a radiant touch and did 11 radiant damage.
All right. Radiant damage is important because vampires don't regenerate when they take radiant damage, and Erasmus's plan was to regenerate.
no, that plan's not
Foiled.
happening. Sorry.
Yeah. All right.
Erase that.
Erasmus is the last vampire. Erasmus looks around nervously and darts. Erasmus jumps to the ceiling, and Spider climbs along the ceiling of the
We
attic.
get some attacks, right?
Oh, yeah. Provoking attacks from Mila, Lena, Broldish, I guess Samus, and if Erasmus gets far enough, Elevord Androtite. But I think some things may need to be reconciled before that. So, Micah, roll an attack for Mila, Jane, Lena, Erica, Broldish, Micah again, because you brought a party, Samus. In
All
an
right,
emergency, we only need Micah to do this podcast.
I can use my Divine Smite anytime I hit with a melee attack, so I choose to do that, and I hit.
Mila does 5 radiant damage. And
All right,
then
5 radiant damage. Broldish, did you have a number ready? Samus misses.
7. I have 7 regular damage, and
7 regular damage from Broldish.
11 radiant damage.
Oh. Lena?
I used all my cool last turn.
Okay. Erasmus takes several hits, is still going. Spider climbs across the attic, makes it a good 20 feet across the room. Elevor and Androdite are parked out by the door, and Erasmus tries to squeeze past them and scamper down the stairs into the night. Androdite and Elevor take some opportunity attacks on this vampire.
Elevor does 7 poison damage.
Poison damage? How do vampires feel about poison damage?
I thought they had to stop if they got hit. No?
I think that was
No.
4th edition.
4th edition, and only
And
if you want to
certain
say
characters.
certain characters.
Some certain
Yeah.
feats in 5e will let you do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's Sentinel, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I thought fighters mark frequently just knock you start moving and they hit you basically. Let's see here.
Androdite misses.
Androdite misses. Elevor, you did 7 poison damage. Well, I sure thought vampires didn't care about poison damage, but vampire spawn apparently are vulnerable. Elevor, what happens to Erasmus as Erasmus tries to squeeze past you, get down the door, and escape into the night to live a life full of vampire crimes, a carefree life? Do you call it living? Well, it's carefree. A carefree life of carnage, just preying on the people of Vallaki, not caring as people burn down their houses as some kind of weird cover-up. Possibly, I don't know, maybe Erasmus was going to go steal a wedding dress before any of you got there, and now we'll never find out what
I have
happens
a
to poor
quick
Erasmus.
question.
Elevor says, oh, good.
I was just going to ask, you said vampire crimes. Is that crimes against other vampires? Or vampires committing crimes, or both?
In this case, it was crimes committed by vampires. So,
Vampire
okay,
on
thank
vampire
you.
crime, which is the
Thank
worst
you.
kind.
Yeah.
Elevor says, wow, that blouse is... And then Mila goes, and then Elevor turns a little red, and then he reaches out with his claws that grow out of his hand, because this is primal savagery, and slashes at the vampire person thingy upon the ceiling. And then Erasmus, there's like black veins kind of grow throughout Erasmus, and then she just falls. They just fall dead to the ground.
yeah, Erasmus, you basically swat Erasmus out of the air, tumbles to the ground, and bleeds out. Erasmus has not been killed with a radiant attack, which I think I was tracking carefully, so you may need to, deliver some wood to Erasmus's heart. But, that's Erasmus is incapacitated.
There's a lot of wood in this room.
And there's a lot of lumber in this room, so you're not going to have to look very hard for it. You did manage to knock a lot of planks off windows as well, so this room is dripping with wood.
Sharp wood.
That's not a way you describe. Yeah, I don't like that.
I don't want my wood to drip.
Well, then varnish it, Micah. That's just. This is now a home repair podcast.
Them's the breaks.
Yep. So,
Drippy
well,
wood.
players, you have defeated my squad of 6 vampire spawn. I thought this was a threat that would truly test you, but you have shown the vampires that you are ready, perhaps ready for bigger and badder things. I speak of a wedding dress you'll steal from civilians, but I also speak of one Count Strahd von Zarovich, who sits somewhere in Castle Ravenloft, knowing, watching, aware that someday you will arrive, and he waits for you. Will your adventure in Ravenloft be real short? It will not! Will I ask any questions in this closing that I will answer later? I guess I just did, but I meant not to! Players, we have done much, but I think it is time to steal a quick wedding dress and head to Ravenloft. It is time to take things to the next level. I use that both figuratively and literally, because I believe you are going to level up now before any more combat happens. Unless you have to murder some guards to steal that wedding dress. Try and figure out a non-violent way to steal a wedding dress.
I've got to talk
Next
to that
time.
guy. I've got to talk to the coffin maker who's hiding out, so we will see what happens.
What will the coffin maker answer for his crimes? Had Tony forgotten about him? Almost certainly not. Thank you, Aline. The end.